So I read 13 books in 23 minutes, and today we're going to talk about this one right here, Joan Myers-Brown and the Audacious Hope of the Black Ballerina. Welcome back to 23-Minute Reads with me, Maya D. This is kind of like my accountability vlog because in these short videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current book, which right now is book 13, y'all. Book 13, Joan Myers-Brown and the Audacious Hope of the Black Ballerina. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by dropping some comments down there in the comment section so that there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as a dancer, as an educator, as a curriculum writer, I am not the know-all be-all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this week I read pages, looking at my notes, I read pages 171 through 206, and here are my takeaways. Takeaway number 1 is contoured. I previously mentioned that Philadelphia, the dance company, requires its performers to take classes. And as I read the book, I've been amazed at how many of its company members actually join other companies, other dance companies. And while that might seem like a negative thing, it actually speaks to the training because these dancers are able to be successful wherever they land in the world. And that's kind of amazing. As an educator, as a teacher, that's the dream, that your students, that your learners embody the knowledge. They receive the knowledge in a way that is so deeply embedded into their beings that they can take it and apply it anywhere. That's a great feeling. That's kind of what I go for as an educator. This style of teaching is remarkable because it requires that the teacher, the educator, not only sees their students, like sees them like your people, but sees them as an individual so that they can contour that learning process. Here's a quote from the book. Philadelphia may feel like a conservatory because its dancers are required to take classes. It is different because classes are not standardized, but contoured to meet the dancer's need for professional development. End quote. This is an excellent teaching practice that we as educators aim for and do our best to implement, that contouring. The success of the dance company, Philadelphia, and its dancers are a testament to the impact that this kind of responsible teaching practice leaves. Takeaway number 2 is good teachers. What does it mean to be a good teacher? Feel free to drop your ideas in those comments below, right? As an educator, I believe that I am curating learning experiences for my learners. I feel like I've done a good job when the students can take ownership of that content, that material, and then they're able to talk about it and to show it to someone else. My dance educator mind, was very pleased to hear these words in the book. Here we go. By having to teach classes, they are obliged to analyze what they do, demonstrate it so that it can be learned, and make corrections. In learning to be good teachers, dancers learn about the art form from a new perspective. End quote. I was pleased to hear these words because it aligned with my own teaching practice. So it's kind of like okay, you're leading in the right direction. Others are talking about a similar thing too. But it also demonstrates a legacy of sharing wisdom and nurturing the wisdom keeper in a way that their mind and their body will be able to act as a tool that continues to teach that legacy, to share that legacy, because they are good teachers. And we must remember that this practice is also embedded in JB's own dance history via the lineage of her dance lineage, which includes Marianne Couget and Elsie Mae Dorsey, as discussed earlier in the book and some of our earlier videos. Takeaway number 3 is adjustment. Being a good teacher, in my mind, includes contouring the information so that it speaks to the individual and allowing the learner to have multiple ways to investigate and experiment with the material and the content of the class. And also making a shift and adjustments in a way that the content is disseminated to the collective. So making sure that it speaks to the individual and the collective, right? As educators, you're navigating so many different things at the same time. That's kind of what makes it fun. In chapter 5, The Audacious Hope, the house that Joan built, we find these words. This was an interesting, culturally sensitive adjustment on JB's part for both the audience and the dancers, end quote. While in Italy, JB makes a decision to change the orientation of a dance. She changes the orientation of walking, talking, signifying blues hips, low down, throw down. This adjustment was made in consideration of the collective. This includes both the dancers and the audience at this time. The audience is described as a small, older, male-dominated, non-black, village population. Without this adjustment, BDG explains that the performance could have been seen as poor taste, that the adjustment protected the Black female dancers, and decrease the likelihood that the performance would feed archaic stereotypes like primitive and promiscuous Black dancing bodies. But what are your thoughts? How do you feel about, how do you know when to make these adjustments to choreography and so forth in a classroom and on the performance stage? What feeds those decisions for yourself? And how do you then still maintain the intention of the piece in and of itself? So let me know that in the comments below. Or you could just drop a book emoji so that I know that you're here with me. Or, or you could drop the title of a really great book as a book suggestion for one of my next reads. I'm getting close to the end of this one. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked this video or found it interesting. My name is Maya D, and this has been 23-Minute Reads. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.